All right, what's up? Bush here. I'm with Mike Iorado, aka the Mad Lab, the master, the mentor fight analyzer.
What up?
Today we're breaking down and previewing the big pay-per-view card this weekend. Errol Spence Jr. versus Danny Swift Garcia. Should I say Errol the Truth Spence Jr.?
The Truth. Remember Carl the Truth Williams?
Versus Danny Swift Garcia, this weekend's welterweight title showdown in Arlington, Texas. Spence comes in, Mike, at a minus 500 betting favorite. But could there be a little something that the Vegas is overlooking over here? Maybe they don't know about Garcia's boxing skills that can unseat Spence Jr. and take the title? Let's find out now. All right, before we get started, as always, smash that subscribe button right now. Hit the bell notification. Trust me, you want to get notified every time we post a new video because our videos are fucking awesome. And we're always going to put fight content, boxing, more MMA, mixed martial arts, UFC, Bellator. But, you know, Mike and myself come from a big boxing background. Growing up as a kid, that's how we actually first met and went to our first couple of fights together. In fact, Mike, I think that we went. Did you come with me to the Keith Thurman, Danny Garcia fight at Barclays?
Yeah, bro.
Remember that? When Showtime Sean Porter fought on the undercard against Devin Alexander?
Yep, I was there. I was with you, yeah.
That's when Devin Alexander was a big up-and-comer, and he looked like he was going to be the next guy. And then Sean Porter out of nowhere came in, fucking totally dominated him. And then I think that's really when Porter made a big name for himself.
Yeah. But that whole group, there's a very small pool, you know, at that time. But yeah, they were. It was almost like an elimination tournament.
I'll tell you, the Barclays is a great place to watch boxing.
Great lighting, dude.
Great lighting, and then they got the 40-40 club up top, and you could go grab. It wasn't even expensive. I think we went up there. It was like $60 buffet, but like good, like steak or whatever. And then you could actually get a table looking over the balcony right down. We went up there for the prelims, watched the undercards, watched a couple undercards while we ate, then went down to our seats, watched the main event. And that was a close fight, that Thurman Garcia fight.
I was actually at Thurman Porter at Barclay.
You went to Thurman Porter.
I was there too, yeah.
You were there for both those. That's right. Who did you go with? I know. Never mind. I know you went. Yeah. Now I know. But yeah, you went to that fight too. Yeah. And listen, I was never a big fan of Danny Garcia.
Okay, why?
I feel like he always skated by. I think that I think a lot of the decisions that when he won a couple close split decisions, I think a lot of the times it went his way and he got the lucky nod. I don't think he's got power. I know what he is good at is avoiding getting hit by the big shot, right? And I think he's managed to get through his career. He went undefeated for a little too long, I feel.
Well, if you look at his record, I mean, first of all, I think the biggest.
I got his Wikipedia up right here.
Yeah, well, don't even say nothing to me because I want to see how much I remember. But if you look at the biggest mistake he made, I think, was having his father in his corner for way too long. That was mistake. That was mistake number one.
He fucking talks.
He's a fucking kyakiro on that guy. He don't shut up. He starts trouble, and he doesn't let his son have a voice of his own.
Yeah, I would be so mad if that was my dad.
Yeah, he speaks for him. This is what we're gonna do. But if you look at his record, look at the guys he's beaten. He beat Eric Morales. Eric Morales in 2012. You got to remember, Eric Morales fought Barrera. Their wars in 2004.
Yeah. That wasn't the
washed up Eric Morales.
That wasn't the Morales that we know.
Lucas Matisse, older,
tough in his prime,
but older.
Very tough.
Right, very, very tough. But if you look at all the guys that he's beaten, they were
Malinacci. You know,
it's still pillow hands. I love Malinacci. Yeah,
pillow hands. Robert the Ghost Guerrero. Remember him?
Guerrero.
Remember when Mayweather fought Robert the Ghost Guerrero, bro?
Yeah. Wait, were we there too?
No,
we weren't at that fight. No,
we
were at Mayweather and Gotti.
But remember when remember, you know, The fucking media is so good at hyping these fights up that I remember how they were hyping up Robert the Ghost Guerrero, bro.
His dad, remember his father?
Dude.
His father was another Angel Garcia.
But they made you believe that he had a shot.
I know.
That's how good they made it. Like, because not for nothing, you always root against Floyd Mayweather. That's just what everybody does, right?
I always did.
And you always actually believe that maybe this guy has a shot, when meanwhile, almost everybody didn't have a shot.
Listen, the one guy that I knew had a shot against him, and I still believe in total prime, it would have been a great fight. A couple guys, but Miguel Cotto, bro. Miguel Cotto, before he took his his major punishment, you know what I mean? Like he's been in wars. He doesn't know any other way but to fight in wars. You'll never see him dancing around. He never comes out of fights unblemished. His entire career, you can ask my father this. I've been following this guy before he was a pro. Like I always said that this guy was going to be a champion. Miguel Cotto, just a tough, gritty champion. You know, there were certain guys that did fight him that I think that in their prime, it would have been a little bit different. But listen, they all do that. But Danny Garcia,
he fought him good when Cotto
fought him great. He said Cotto fought him the best.
Besides the Castillo, don't forget about the Castillo Mayweather back a long time ago. Very close, controversial. That could have went for Castillo. Besides that, I think Cotto fought him the best out of anybody that I ever seen fight Mayweather. I agree with you. I think Cotto fought him the best.
Yeah, he didn't back down. He kept pushing forward. He understands. Listen, the thing about Cotto is he wasn't always that guy who just wants to sit and slip and rip. He knew how to cut angles. He knew how to take situations away. He wasn't just a hard puncher. He was a good boxer. He could box.
I tell you what, you know, and I know we're going a little off topic, but hey, when we start talking about fights that we watched, you know, over the past 15 years,
is what we do.
I went to Cotto. I went to the Miguel Cotto fights almost 4 years in a row at MSG.
Puerto Rican Day Parade.
Because he would fight always on the weekend of Puerto Rican Day Parade. And let me tell you something. You go into MSG on Puerto Rican Day Parade, and they got the flags in there. The energy in that fucking crowd for a Cotto fight on Puerto Rican Day Parade weekend, that was probably. And I went to Pacquiao Cotto in Vegas, fucking amazing to go to. But something about all the Puerto Rican fans in MSG waving the fucking Puerto Rican flags, dude, you get the chills in your body. Like, and then when Buffer comes out and does the let's get ready to fucking rumble, man. Like, I have vivid memories of just like looking at, I'm not Puerto Rican, I'm Italian, but just being around them and just seeing how true fans they are, how much they love Cotto, and the passion for them, for him, was just like, I'll never forget those couple years when I went to that.
I'll tell you what, the craziest crowd I've ever been involved in boxing was Bone Galata, dude.
You were there?
Yeah, I was there with my father.
You were there for the brawl?
Yeah, I was there with my father.
Dude.
Bro.
The low blow brawl?
Yeah, bro. We actually saw him in Caesars after the fight. Dude, he had a hole in his lip. He had a hole. Yeah, listen, he was trying to eat soup, dude. He had a hole in his and my father's like, I was like, dude, I don't want to go over there. And we went over there, we talked to him, and we heard him saying at the table, I stupid. He kept saying, bro, it was literally something from a Rocky movie, dude. It was literally, you had the Polish people going nuts, you had the American people going nuts. It was the most insane crowd I've ever been a part of.
Bro, what a fucking brawl that was, man.
Yeah.
That was nuts. That was nuts.
Yep.
All right, sorry,
anyway,
guys.
Back to Garcia.
When we talk boxing, we get a little crazy and start talking. We've been to a lot of fights. We went to fucking Triple G and Lemieux. I mean, so we'll get to that another time. But let's get back to the fight at the top.
I justify this line at minus 300. That's where I justify this line, and I'll explain why. My opinion, why. But what do you justify this line at? This ain't a minus 500 fight. Is that the line? I
agree with you. Just because, like, Garcia has fought, he's a veteran, he has a lot of experience, he's been in a lot of championship fights. He doesn't deserve to be this much of a dog. I know Spence is definitely the more dominant fighter in almost every aspect. I don't think there's any edges.
The only thing you got to, this is the reason why. Actually, the minus 300 I'll take away a little bit. Minus 300 on what you know the Spence you're getting. You got to remember, he was in a very bad car accident where he was ejected from his car. This is a guy who almost died. Yeah. You know what I mean? So now he's back. You know, but
he didn't really get hurt. Errol Spence Jr. did not really get hurt on that accident. He got fucking lucky, bro. He was in a hospital for like fucking a week and he wasn't even injured. No broken bones.
Yeah, I know, but I'm saying, but if you got to go through, you know, you're not training.
I think mentally.
Of course.
I think mentally more than anything, that could probably
but your first fight back, you take Danny Garcia. That's a ballsy move. I'm sorry, that's a ballsy move. First fight back, you take Danny Garcia. Whether Danny Garcia is on a decline or not, Danny Garcia is a very strategic defensive counter striker that can take punishment, and he's been in the spotlight. However, if you look at the resume of Errol Spence, you can't compare. This is a guy who's Golden Gloves, gold and silver medalist, 3-time national champ, USA nationals. I made it to the quarterfinals in the Olympics. Very, very polished boxer. And if you look at everybody he's beaten, they're all primed today.
You look right now, dude.
The only person that he hasn't fought yet is Crawford. Why? I don't know. People say he's ducking him. I don't think he's ducking him.
That's the fight to fucking make.
That's the fight that's going to happen after this.
Kell Brook, he destroyed Kell Brook. That was great. Lamont Peterson.
You don't like Kell Brook?
No, I don't like him.
You didn't like? I don't know why.
I feel like these fucking fighters from overseas always get fucking hyped up, and they're better than they are.
Joey Calzaghe.
Calzaghe
He was Italian. You know that, right?
You know he retired. He retired at the right time, though. He was. He was Italian, right?
Yeah.
I know he was Italian.
He wasn't from Wales.
I know
he was
that.
From Wales, but yeah.
But he also retired at the right time. There was guys coming up that could have picked him off, and he just wanted to retire with that O on his record. He was in his prime, dude. He could have fought for 3-4 more years, no problem.
He was good though, dude.
He was great, but when you really look at the I don't know, when you look at the competition or who he fought, I just don't think those guys were that good. But that's another topic too. But let's look at
go through Errol Spence. Lamont Peterson. They both fought Lamont Peterson.
They both fought Lamont Peterson. Good fighter. Ocampo, man. Mikey Garcia, great fighter, but Mikey
great fight, bro. That's a great fight.
But Mikey had to step up 2 weight classes.
All right, but
Spence was the bigger, stronger fighter. I thought it would have been a better fight. Garcia got fucking waxed almost every round. Every round. Horrible. Porter, split decision. That was an awesome fight.
Bro, Porter's one of the most underrated boxers out there right now.
But here's the thing. That Spence, the reason why that fight went to split decision is because Spence, that fight fought Porter's fight.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. You're 100% right.
He got baited into his fight because he knows he's that good, and he made it a slugfest when he didn't have to. Garcia is not going to go toe to toe.
He's strategic, bro. That's what he does.
He's swift. That's why they call him Danny Swift Garcia. So he's going to play that game, but I still think that Spence is faster, quicker, smarter, a better ring IQ. The reason why he's minus 500 is because if you put him side by side and you put the check marks like where the advantages are,
there's not one.
I really don't think there's even one.
The only thing
experience, maybe not even maybe experience, maybe,
and toughness, dude. He is a tough kid.
He's tough.
But I'm going to tell you right now, I think that Spence can knock him out.
I think that Garcia.
I think Spence is going to go to prove a point here, and late he's going to really, if he sees that he's wearing him down, he's really going to put it on him and put him out.
I thought about that too, and I thought about maybe looking at Spence by KO, but Garcia's he's just known to get to the cards.
He is. He got 2 losses, right? That's it.
He's got 2 losses, unanimous decision to Sean Porter, and then split decision to Thurman.
Well, what does that tell you? Think about what I just said 2 minutes ago. What does that tell you? His 2 losses were guys that are fighting right now that are not fully primed, but primed. They're still in, right? Look at the guys he's beaten.
He's beating Guerrero, Malinacci, Samuel Vargas, Brandon Bam Bam Rios.
Eric Morales, 10 years after his prime.
Matisse after his prime.
Think about all the guys.
Amir Khan, fucking Glass Joe Chin, Amir Khan.
Oh, dude, how sad is that, dude? Can you imagine you had Amir Khan's boxing ability with Danny Garcia's durability?
I really believed at one point that Amir Khan was going to be the next guy.
You did.
When he first came up, because the dude had the speed. How many fights was Amir Khan winning on the cards? 5 rounds to none. And then
get knocked out.
And get caught on that fucking glass chin. Just fucking drop. And like bad knockouts, like knocked out.
What was the fight? What was the last fight that he fought? That he was doing really. He was taking a lot of shots, and he was holding up.
I'll tell you right now.
And then he got murked.
It's every fight with him, dude.
Every fight, dude.
Crawford, he got TKO 6. I think he actually fought Crawford.
Oh, wait, no. Wait a minute.
Canelo. No. He was beating Canelo.
Yes, he was. Yes. Dude,
almost every round.
Yeah.
Almost every round he was beating Canelo.
He was faster than him. Yeah, dude. That's what I mean. Then he gets clipped. And he has no recovery time, dude. When he gets clipped, he's done.
No chin.
He's done. He doesn't get up. He doesn't know where he is.
No chin. So I got my keywords here that I have to read to make sure that this video ranks. So I'd rather just let everybody know. All right. So so this Spence and Garcia preview was brought to you by the MadLabMMA. Anyway, listen, honestly, this is, I think, what this is a good fight, I think, for Spence to come out to and show why he's pound for pound, should be ranked pound for pound, top 2, top 3, whatever he is. Now that Lomachenko got dethroned, right? Who's up there for pound? You got Crawford and Spence, but Spence has to have a really good showcase Saturday night to just let everybody remember why he was ESPN Fighter of the Year back fucking 6 years ago, why he was the next up and coming guy, why no one wants to fucking fight the guy. And I think the fight to make after this is Errol Spence Jr. versus Terrence Crawford.
That's the fight. If they wait too much longer, it's going to be a fucking travesty.
Please don't let this thing happen like the Pacquiao Mayweather, where they waited fucking 5 years too long and ruined the whole thing.
Crawford just had a big win. So this is kind of aligning at the same time. So if Spence gets out, they're only, a couple weeks apart? When was this fight? A couple weeks ago.
Let me ask you a question. I don't want to be disrespectful to Terrence Crawford.
He's great, bro. Don't even.
Who the fuck has he fought?
He's fought everyone there is in the division right now.
I'm not saying I'm not saying it's his fault. I'm not saying
Bob Arum is a crusty fucking
I'm not saying it's his fault.
Did you hear what he said about was it Crawford or Spence?
I'm going to pull up
how he said what he said about, was it Crawford? He said that he's losing money.
Losing money.
Yeah, because there's no one left to fight. He's losing money.
Let me just quickly read this off to you. Okay. Crawford's last fucking 10 opponents. Are you ready? I'll start from behind. From back here. I'll go even further. You ready?
Yeah.
Ray Beltran, Thomas DeLorme, Diere Jean, Hank Lundy, Victor Posto, John Molino Jr., Felix Diaz, Julius Indongo, Jeff Horn, Jose Benavides Jr., Amir Chin Khan. This fucking guy, Egidijus Kavalauskas. Who the fuck is that?
Yeah, he's good, dude.
And then Kilbrook. That's his resume, bro.
I understand that, but listen, you didn't ask me who I was picking to win that fight.
If it was Errol Spence Jr. versus Terrence Crawford, who are you picking?
I'm picking Errol Spence.
Wow. Yeah. I bet you that
because
I bet you the public goes with Crawford.
They will, and he's going to be a dog, and I'm going to slam Errol Spence.
You think
depending on how he looks,
Spence will be a dog. That's going to be close. That's going to be almost.
It'll be probably. I almost see him maybe like a plus 120 maybe in that fight.
I want some, if people watch this video, which I hope they do, I want people to give feedback and ask questions about what they think about Terrence Crawford versus Errol Spence Jr. Because this fight Saturday night doesn't really excite me. All right, I'm going to watch it, of course. Big pay-per-view fight. I think Spence wins easily. I don't know if he'll knock him out, though. I don't know if Danny Swift will engage enough to let him get knocked out. I think he's going to be very timid.
I think Errol Spence is going to win the fight. I think he's going to win the fight. I don't think it's going to be like a question, like you're on the edge of your seat, who the judge is going to pick. But I think Danny Garcia is going to have his spots. I could see him having his spots, not putting him in trouble, but waking Spence up a little bit, saying, because Spence can showboat a little bit.
I mean, Garcia leading up to this fight, he had the loss to Porter. And then he fought Adrian Granados. He won by TKO round 7. And then he fought Ivan Redkach. I don't even know who the fuck that is.
Yeah, he's not, bro. He's number one. He's not a knockout artist.
He's coming into this fight. It's not like he had a couple good wins with momentum coming into this fight either. I almost feel like he's not old, but I feel like he's already past how good he was.
Well, bro, you've got to really think about it, bro. There's really no one else to fight. There's not many. There's people out there, but who the fuck is this is if anything, this is the biggest fucking test of Danny Garcia's career.
By far.
By far.
And I think he's going to get waxed.
Yeah, but I'm saying, but this is his fight. I mean, this is a fight. How can you turn this down? He can't turn this down. Errol Spence didn't have to take this fight. He did not have to take this fight.
I think that this is good for Spence to come out of after that accident, to come out and show why he's one of the best. I think that this will be Danny Garcia's last like real shot at making a lot of money. I mean, he'll still fight, I'm sure.
Yeah.
But I think after this, like this is going to be the money he makes. His boxing, they make a way more than MMA. So yeah. I'm going to take a wild guess. I'm going to guess that Garcia makes guaranteed $6-7 million on this fight.
Yeah, probably, maybe more.
Maybe more. That's going to be my guess. I didn't look at the purse. I have no idea, but I'm going to say somewhere around there. A lot of money. Right? I think he knows he's going to lose.
I don't know about that.
I don't think he has the confidence enough
I don't know
to think
about
that he's.
Dude. I don't think these guys go in there thinking that, like, I mean, there's certain situations I'm sure they know they're being put out there as a landmine, but Danny Garcia has been there in big spots and big moments. You have a certain belief system to step in that ring, dude. Like he thinks he's not going in there saying I'm going to lose this fight. He's going in there thinking he's going to win the fight.
All right, fine. I fucking agree with you. Okay, you can never go into a fight thinking you're going to lose, but he's going to lose. All right, hey guys,
he's going to lose, yeah. And then Errol Spence is going to beat Crawford. I'm going to call that my shot right here.
That's going to be a great fight.
Well, wait, hold on a second. How can you say that's going to be a great fight when you just got done shitting on Terrence Crawford?
Listen, I said it wasn't his fault. I think he's a great fighter. I'm merely pointing out the fact that when you look at his resume, and I fucking just read him off to you, did I name one guy who you said was like, oh, that was a real quality fighter? Not even one.
So how about the fucking bum you got on your fucking wall to the right-hand side of your right over there? That bum. Who's he fought?
Mike Tyson?
Francis Botha?
Donovan Razor Ruddock twice.
Oh, stop, dude. Francis Botha, fucking dude. Here's a trivia question for you, for everyone out there. Ready?
Hold on, before you ask the question.
Yeah, what?
Before we continue this, there's a link below that you guys want to download Mike's copy of the MadLab, the MMA Bible Code. It's how he breaks down fights. It's an awesome read. You'll be on our email list. You get notified for the upcoming stuff that we do for MMA. We do a lot of DraftKings, DFS. If there was DFS for boxing, we would do that too, but there's not. But we do weekly bets, DFS. We're all things MMA, but we are all things combat sports. Get on our email list. You'll like the content we provide. Go click on the link. It's the MadLab MMA Bible Code when you get a chance. So go ahead. Ask me the question about Mike Tyson now.
All right. So now everybody's excuse when you ask them, who has he fought? They say he's fought everybody out there. Everyone he could fight, right? So he fought. We went overseas. He fought Francis Botha, Tony Tubbs, fucking Mitch Green. You name it. He fought the bum of bums, dude. They drag guys off the street to fight this.
But there was nobody else.
There was nobody else. Yes, there was. There was one guy who was actually undefeated, who was a carbon copy of him, who had a fucking iron chin that they would never. Don King avoided him like the plague, and he was undefeated at the time.
Who? Bo?
Merciless Ray Mercer. Why didn't he ever fight Ray Mercer?
I don't know. Yeah, you're right. That's the only guy he didn't fight.
He's ducked him like the plague.
Merciless Ray Mercer had a chin of steel.
And he hit like a ton of bricks.
At
that time, he was undefeated.
Why didn't they ever make that fight?
Don King knew it was a dangerous fight. He knew it was a guy that came in like Tyson. He had that same kind of barbaric style. He had a great tested chin. His chin was just tested at the time. He was young. He was undefeated. But he wasn't marketable.
He wasn't marketable.
No.
He wasn't marketable.
So they avoided him. Why would you?
Very, very underrated fighter he was.
Hugely underrated. Bro, a friend of mine fought him. Who? Leo the Lionheart, right here from Rutherford.
Is he still hurting?
He retired after the fight. Bro, we were all at Park City Grill watching the fight because he worked there. We were fucking cheering him on. Great guy, dude. But he goes in there and he's, looking good. And he got caught with a fucking shot, and that was it, dude. Mercer just put him out.
Hit like a ton of bricks.
But think about it. Think about the guys that go through a couple of the guys in his resume that you've never heard of, and he never fought Ray Mercer that lived on his same soil.
Hold on a second. All right.
Michael Crackhead Spinks he fought.
You ready to hear? By the way, if you haven't seen, this is my my arrowhead, right? It's an arrow. I actually bought a whole bunch of them, and I gave them to some of my employees in the call center. Yeah. And we talked about today about hitting our targets and our goals for the month. And I gave them all a little obsidian arrowhead so they could hit their targets. And I handed them out to some of the sales. I gave Ryan one today, the sales guys. It's called obsidian. It like clears out negative energy. It's pretty cool. I got one for you, but you got it. But it's going to cost you money, just to let you know if you want one. Okay. All right. So let me tell you, before you started losing, Razor Ruddock twice. Don't forget about.
Go through all his good names. Go through the whole fucking resume.
Okay, let's start with when he won the championship. Trevor Burpick.
All right, yeah. Oh wow.
Hold on, James Bone Crusher Smith.
Yeah, 50 years old and bald.
Don't forget about Pinklin Thomas, Tony Tucker, Tyrell Biggs, Larry Holmes.
Pause right there. Do yourself a favor and watch the Tony Tucker fight again.
I will.
Tony Tucker was fucking peppering him up in that fight.
And then Iron Mike came in with the fucking uppercuts, right?
Yo, watch that fight. That's when you could tell that Tyson couldn't fight a true boxer.
Don't forget about Frank Bruno.
Yeah, big lip Frank Bruno. Remember him, how he put him?
He was so
jacked, dude.
Juiced up.
Where was he from? England?
England, yeah, UK, right? Somewhere. Call the Truth Williams. And then he had the Buster Douglas. And after that, it was really bad. I don't even want to go through the rest after that.
Now, when people want to rank him, like you want to say one of the greatest of all time, think about this now. Think about a guy like George Foreman. He wipes out an entire division when the heavyweight division was the best it ever was at that time. He loses to Muhammad Ali. He goes into exile for 10 years. He comes back. He beats fucking Michael Moore for the championship at 42 years old.
Now listen,
but Tyson loses one fight and he's fucking getting ready to jump off the Brooklyn Bridge.
I agree with everything you're saying. Okay. The reason why Tyson's on my wall is not because he's one of the greatest fighters of all time, but this is why. And Joe Rogan said it best when Tyson was on Rogan. Joe Rogan said, Mike, I can't believe you're sitting here with me because you were such a big part of my childhood. Like when we were kids, dude. And Tyson was fighting Saturday night.
HBO boxing.
I remember being with my father, my uncles, who never watch any sports or any kind of boxing. But Tyson was that big of a fucking polarizing name. My mom, my aunts, like my grandma, my grandpa, who's Sicilian, who can't even speak a fucking word of English, would sit around to watch the Tyson fight Saturday night. Yeah. Like that's why, because he really was such a big part of me growing up in boxing. I think about him in that era.
Yeah, but do you think 70 to 80% of those people watched his fights to watch him lose?
Do you think what?
To watch him lose, to see if he would lose.
No, I think everybody wanted him to win. They wanted him to
want to sit there. Who the fuck would like this? There was nothing worse than fucking sitting down, cracking a fucking Diet Dr. Pepper, and fucking 30 seconds later, you're like, what are we gonna do tonight?
Because it ended so fast, dude. Right? But you know what was just on? They were doing. I was watching something about Tyson. Do you remember before he fought Lennox Lewis? Yeah. And at the press conference,
he was good, dude.
At the press conference,
Lennox Lewis can box his fucking ass off.
Great. At the press conference, when Tyson had that black, real tight black shirt on, and he had the black pants on,
and they had the spotlight on the stage,
and he was just cursing and grabbing his crotch, going, "You motherfucker, fuck you, motherfucker!" And he was just kept grabbing his crotch.
And then, remember the guys in the back screaming guerrilla warfare?
Yeah, dude. That's what I'm saying. Like the whole show. I remember when he first got out of jail, and they showed the video of the limo picking him up, Don King handing him $100 million cash right when he walks out of prison. Just the whole thing. You know what I'm saying? That's what makes me think about it when I was a kid is that. Not because he's one of the best boxers of all time, because he's not, right?
He's not even top 10 in the heavyweight division. In the heavyweight division, he's not even top 10.
Iron Mike Tyson.
All right, I'm gonna tell you I'm gonna tell you.
We're gonna continue this argument. Right. Okay. Come on, bro.
Yeah, we can't do that. He's not top 10.
Okay.
We're gonna do a video one day on strictly the top 10 heavyweights of all time and the top 10 pound for pound fighters of all time.
That's fine. We could do that. So before we wrap this up, Errol Spence Jr., Danny Garcia, what's your final? Before that, guys, please subscribe. Please fucking comment. Please give us the thumbs up where this video goes nowhere and nobody fucking sees it. So do that for us. Click the bell. You want to know when these videos come out. I mean, I think we talked about it the whole time.
I think I'm going to say Errol Spence stops him. I'm going to take a shot and say Errol Spence stops him.
You say you're going to predict Errol Spence by KO?
Yeah, like maybe like a referee stoppage or something.
TKO
like that, yeah.
or knockout or technical knockout.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say it goes Errol Spence by decision. I'm even gonna call it. Hey, you know what? These fucking judges. I don't know. I'm gonna say he wins by 3 rounds.
You're giving this a great fight. You're making this into a good fight
because of the judges, just the way they judge fights. I think we're gonna think it's a landslide, but then when they call the cards, we're gonna be like, that's a little closer than I thought. But I think he still wins by an easy 3-4 rounds.
All right.
But I think it's gonna be by the eye, by the naked eye. It's gonna be very visible that it's a dominant fight. He wins the whole fight, no problem. Never gets in trouble, but puts Garcia in trouble a couple times.
Yeah, whatever you do, don't get baited into that plus. I mean, don't get baited into that.
No way. Hey, listen, guys, if you want more where this video came from and you want the edge in MMA and DFS, come to our site. Check out the videos. You're going to see videos around here in this box. The other videos here. We're just getting started. We started the Mad Lab MMA only, what, Mike, 6 weeks ago? 6 weeks. This thing's still a baby. We've done some fucking amazing things with DraftKings already. We've had guys in November alone. We've had over $100,000 in DFS pulls from our members, including me and Mike. Mike pulled over 11,000 in one night. I pulled 7,000 one night. We had Don Lee Haney pull 55,000 2 weeks ago in the GPP. Fucking
over 110,000 in DFS polls alone. And that's only the big sticks. That's not the 500 here, 100 here, 200. That's just the big couple $1,000 sticks. It's over 100 and something thousand.
So we're off to a great start. We'd love to have you come join us. If not for now, at least go down there, grab your copy of the Bible, read through it, get on the email list. You'll see what we do here, and we'll see you Saturday night for the fight.
Awesome.
Later.